What's up, Sports Fury Nation? We're back with another divisional outlook. This time, we're in the AFC East. And who else would we have other than JetsCentral himself to join us?
Welcome back, buddy.
Hey, man, thanks so much for having me on. I know we did it last year, and it was the best. And, yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, and thank you for sending these shirts over here.
Yeah.
Look at this. I got my JetsCentral shirt with JetsCentral talking about the AFC.
What do you know? Is that a coincidence?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not a coincidence.
Oh, all right.
It was very much planned.
Planned?
Yes.
Scripted.
That's okay. But, yeah, I'm glad to have you guys. Anybody watching right now, if for some reason you're unaware, you're like, oh, JetsCentral, this guy seems cool, well, go follow him. Go to the link in the description box down below and go subscribe to JetsCentral. He's one of the best, one of the smartest guys here on YouTube. He breaks it all down. So go subscribe to him.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, guys. And by the way, I'm trying to get some new merch out for like the fall, so I'll be sending up some more shirts to you guys pretty soon.
Oh man, I can't wait for
that.
that.
Yeah. Sean, you need a
buddy.
new shirt.
I need a new shirt.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm always down for new shirts.
All right, so let's get into the AFC East.
Yes.
Now, let's see. Last year, the New England Patriots, of course, they won the division.
Yes.
Again, 13-3. They went to the Super Bowl and they lost. How good was that to see? Were you happy when you see the Patriots lose the Super Bowl?
Dude, of course, man. Like, I was watching that Super Bowl. I remember, like, when Nick Foles threw that, like, beautiful touchdown pass, like, right to, like, ice the game. I jumped up. I was clapping. I was so pumped. It was the best watching just Tom Brady walk off the field. It was incredible.
The Bills,
they finally made the playoffs.
9-7. They made it to the playoffs for the first time, like what, 20 years or something like
20
that.
years, something like that. Yeah.
I know they're your division rival, but you gotta admit it was pretty cool seeing them finally get to the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I do like a lot of the Bills players, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, and then Tyrod Taylor. I was always a big fan of him. So it was pretty cool, like, seeing an underdog, like, finally make it to the playoffs. I mean, I know they got bounced in the first round, and that game was just like a travesty to watch. But it was so cool that they made it, underdogs.
Yeah,
Sure
definitely. Definitely. Then the Miami Dolphins 6-10, and then your Jets 5-11. Even though a lot of people were impressed by how well they did with Josh McCown.
You guys should have won more games than that.
Definitely.
I felt there was some games there that you guys were really close,
oh,
man.
Yeah.
That one Patriots game pissed me off.
Ooh,
I know it had to piss you off.
The ASJ, right? The ASJ fumble, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that Patriot game, I was fuming after that game. I had to, like, leave the bar. I was, like, driving around for, like, 20, 30 minutes before I could, like, make the reaction video. And I was still pretty pissed in that one. But it's just, like, whenever the refs, like, interfere or, like, take points off the board and it's, like, a controversial call, it's always, like, up for discussion. I don't know. That always just pisses me off, especially if it's, like, in a really close game against, like, a rival team in the middle of the season. So, like, you never know how, like, the end of the season could play out. So, but, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some of the key additions in the AFC East, starting off with your Jets, man. You guys had a pretty good draft. You got Sam Darnold.
Got a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right, how do you feel about Sam Darnold? How do you feel about him?
I'm definitely letting it up to him a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say, oh, this is the guy that I wanted from the jump. I did want Josh Rosen, but I like Sam Darnold. He does, when you look at the pros, he does have a lot of pros. Like, he's clutch. He doesn't get hurt. Big arm, good in the pocket, this and that.
Yeah.
So I am pumped up, and I've heard nothing but great things so far coming from Jets camp. So I am pretty pumped up. I definitely have to get a number 14 jersey coming up soon. So, but yeah, so I'm really pumped up about Darnold.
Yeah, man, I like that draft pick. Sam Darnold going to you guys. I think he's gonna be fine.
I remember a lot of his knock was all his throwing motion, his release. But when they actually timed it, he actually had a pretty much NFL average release. So it was that was the biggest concern. But if you actually looked at the actual numbers, he wasn't that bad. So yeah, he's gonna be a great fit.
Like a lot of people like point out his weaknesses, and they're all fair arguments. Out of I guess the core four quarterbacks, like Allen, Rosen, Mayfield, and Darnold, he had the most picks, he had the most fumbles.
Yeah,
he played like the simplest offense, and he had the worst mechanics. So like, the weaknesses are there, and they are fair arguments. So it is what it is. I hope he does improve on those aspects, like as the season goes on.
Yeah.
You guys also added another quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater. How do you feel about him adding him to that roster.
I love this move. I think this was actually one of the most underrated moves of the AFC East so far. Because you take a look back at Bridgewater's career with the Vikings, and he did some pretty good things, like taking care of the football, converting a lot of third downs. He was a dual threat. I don't know if he's going to be like a dual threat now, or even like how he could play now, coming off that huge injury. But I like Bridgewater. I like his attitude. I liked him at Louisville and stuff, so I'm really excited for him.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Terrell Pryor? You think,
dude? Terrell Pryor, man. That's actually probably my favorite, other than Trumaine Johnson, my favorite free agency pickup. Just because, I remember watching him with Cleveland back, I think in 2016 with Josh McCown actually, and he was just like a man amongst boys. And I know it sounds a little weird because he had such a drop off last year, but if this guy can have a season like he did back in 2016, I'll be so impressed. I'll be so pumped up. I love watching Pryor.
Yep. And then you mentioned Trumaine Johnson. You guys added him to the secondary over there.
Yeah, I like that pickup.
That was a great pickup.
Yeah.
And Isaiah Crowell in the running game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm a Homer Jet fan here. I just love every single thing we do. But Crowell, he's a nice back with a good combo of power and speed. So I'm really pumped up about Crowell. He kind of reminds me of I don't know if you guys remember him, but Chris Ivory from the Jets a few years back.
Yeah.
So Crowell's another guy who I like.
Yeah. It was good adding him, considering you guys, Matt Forte
retiring.
Yeah.
So now y'all did lose some pieces on defense, right? Coney Ely, Muhammad Wilkerson, Demario Davis, right? So y'all did lose some players there. Now, how's that going to affect y'all's defense? Because I know the defense wasn't that great last year.
Yeah, I mean, some of the players I'm kind of happy to see go, Darrelle Revis. I know he just retired and this and that. And then Wilkerson, two guys that really their character came into question a little bit down the stretch, just laughing when they'd screw up or not trying, all that stuff. So I'm happy to see those guys go. But as far as losing Demario Davis, who's a big leader in the locker room and stuff like that, it always kind of sucks to see those guys fan favorites leave. But at the end of the day, if it's to save money and to bring in other big free agents, then I'm pretty much all for it.
Okay. Now let's see. Moving on to the New England Patriots, they lost Malcolm Butler, Deion Lewis, Nate Solder, holy crap, and then Brandon Cooks. He went to the Rams.
Yeah, and Amendola, Cameron Fleming, and Ricky Jean.
Yeah, there's some big losses there for the Patriots. There.
Yeah,
man. So I bet you like that.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, I still think, I know the Jets fans are going to kill me for this one, but I still think the Pats are going to win the division. I mean, hell, they've won it every year, since I've been alive, pretty much, other than a few years. But I still got them winning the division. I don't think they're going to be 14-2 or anything crazy. I see them more being 10-6 to 11-5, because I don't want to bet against Belichick. But it's looking like the end of Brady's career, and I know it's kind of rocky so far with the whole Belichick Kraft Brady love triangle thing that they have going on up there. So it's coming to an end, and I'm really pumped up, about that. But as far as this season, I still think the Pats are going to find a way to get the AFC East crown. So
how do they do that? How do they do that? They have great drafts, and they had another one. They got Isaiah Wynn, Sony Michel. I thought they had a solid draft.
Yeah, those first two picks right there, man. Losing Deion Lewis, bringing Sony Michel. Mm-hmm. They lost two offensive linemen, right? Yep. Fleming and Soldier. So Isaiah Wynn, a guard, that could really help shore up that offensive line. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what they can do. But they always put it together somehow. Right. I don't know how.
Now the Miami Dolphins, I think they regressed the most. In the division, I think. I mean, losing Jarvis Landry, losing Adonican Sue. I mean, what do you think, man?
Pouncey. They lost Pouncey.
Yeah, Pouncey. There you go. Yeah.
And your boy Jay Cutler, right? He's the
best. Yeah, Jay Cutler. He's one of the best out there. You're gonna hurt when you lose Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the Dolphins, they definitely regress. He's Jarvis Landry is another guy who they lost too, and it's just I just feel like they lost so much talent on offense. I mean, they are clearing cap, and they're losing kind of the diva personalities in the room, Jay Cutler, Landry, Sue, and all those guys. Mm-hmm. So they might be a little bit more, I want to say, close to the vest or close knit a little bit, because that's kind of how Adam Gase acts. as a person. Just he's like quiet, he's reserved, pays a lot of attention to details and stuff like that. So maybe just getting these guys out of the building will help the Dolphins. But I think it's just going to be a little too much to kind of overcome. But I do like Minkah Fitzpatrick, their first round pick. I think he's going to be a beast.
They got him at a steal to me.
Yeah,
yeah, the Dolphins, you can't count them out because Adam Gase is still offensive minded. Tannehill is he going to be healthy? That's the biggest concern, right?
I do like Kenyon Drake.
Oh, yeah, Kenyon Drake, he has potential, and they did bring in some other pieces.
But it'll be interesting to see what the Dolphins do with those huge key losses there. Yeah, Buffalo Bills. I mean, that's another team that drafted QB in the first round. You got Sam Darnold. Bills, they got Josh Allen. Yeah, you think that's a good fit for Josh Allen over there in Buffalo?
I do. I think Josh Allen, man, like I know a lot of people are hating on this guy, like whatever, he's inaccurate, small school kid. He's an easy target, you know, but I think when you take a look at it, I mean, he's 6'5", 6'6", whatever it is, biggest arm probably in the NFL, and I don't think that's like a stretch to say right now. Yeah. He's like a dual threat. He's coming out of a pro-style system. I mean, we just saw Carson Wentz light up the NFL season, so it's been done before. Not saying that Allen is going to be like a top 5 quarterback next year or anything like that, but it's been done before. So I like Josh Allen. I like the Buffalo Bills, like as a team right now, like how it's constructed. I think they have some nice pieces, but I think the offensive line is like the biggest question mark for them because they lost like Incognito, Eric Wood, and Cordy Glenn. Yeah. You know, those are 3 studs on the O-line that they're just gone now. Yeah. And then of course like the whole LaShawn McCoy thing, like I don't even know if he's going to be playing. So that could like totally shake up the Bills roster. So.
Yeah, they also drafted linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. Which I thought that was. I can't believe.
I could not believe he fell that far. Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. That they got two great values. Josh Allen, Tremaine Edmonds. Yeah. Falling that late, and he's still young. Tremaine Edmonds still developing. He was only 19, right, when he got drafted. So the Bills, I think, are going to be a completely different team. They got rid of Tyrod Taylor,
and it's so
they got
crazy.
rid of so many players.
Like they finally made the playoffs last year, and I feel like that too.
Reset.
I feel like they did a little bit there, and it's just so crazy.
Yeah. Now, who's going to be starting? Is it going to be A.J. McCarron or is it going to be Josh Allen?
I was so surprised that A.J. McCarron went to Buffalo because I thought he was looking at the start, and you knew they had to draft a quarterback. Yeah. So he went. I thought he was going to end up in Arizona or something.
Yeah, I thought so too. So that's going to be the biggest question mark. Who starts?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Allen at the end of the day, just because of like his size. I mean, physically, he just blows the other 2 guys right out of the water. You know, so I don't know. I feel like Buffalo, they could just rely on the run game and let him kind of throw downfield every once in a while. Just let him, give him like 18 pass attempts, and hopefully. Well, not hopefully because I'm a Jet fan, but that would be the Bills' vision would just be to run the rock, play good defense and stuff, which they did last year.
Now we brought up that LaShawn McCoy might not play, right, with that whole situation.
That's a bunch of BS. He's gonna play.
We're gonna see, right? Ezekiel got suspended for no evidence.
They don't hate the Bills like they hate the Cowboys.
That's true. But they did add someone from a former Jet player, Chris Ivory. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? Do you think he could fulfill that role in case LaShawn McCoy?
To be honest, I loved Ivory when he was a Jet, but I don't think so, man.
No.
I don't think so. No. Yeah. I respect Ivory. Loved him as a Jet. Yeah. Definitely, he was just one of my favorite players when he was a Jet, obviously, but I don't think he could get the job done as a starting lead back for Buffalo anymore. To be honest, but
gotcha. I am kind of excited about the Bills' defense because I know they added Vontae Davis, they've added Phillip Gaines, so they added 2 corners there. Raphael Bush, and also D-tackle star. I can't even say his last name.
Lutalele or something like that.
Yeah. I was like, he'll know.
That's why we have him on here.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so they've added some new pieces on their defense. So. See what they could do on that because their secondary was not that great last year.
Right. All right. So now for the offenses, I want to kind of rank these quarterbacks, even though it's going to be kind of ridiculous.
So we could just go ahead and throw Tom Brady number 1.
Number 1, yes, is Tom Brady.
Let's move on from that.
But who's number 2? Is it Tannehill? I mean, because look, we got 2 rookie quarterbacks. Because you see Sam Darnold winning the starting gig right away, right?
No, I don't. I think Josh McCown's going to get it. I think that the Jets are going, or they have the mindset they don't want to throw this rookie out there like they did with Geno Smith. And like Geno Smith just like self-destructed, just throwing picks left and right. Because if Darnold struggles early and you have to like bench him halfway through the year, that's just not a good look. You know, if you put Josh McCown out there and whenever he gets hurt or they feel like, you know, it's time to make a switch to Darnold halfway through the year, you know, sitting on the bench for Sam, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Just sit and learn for a few weeks. I think Josh McCown's going to be the starter. Or even Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know. If Bridgewater like dominates in the preseason, I could see him playing, but it's just a tough call.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the quarterbacks in this division. Like it's just such like we don't really know. I mean,
because we have 2 rookies, so they're question marks, right?
And like JetsCentral was saying, you know, is the starter going to be Teddy Bridgewater? Is it going to be Josh McCown? You think Josh McCown is going to end up winning it out, but
what do you think? Who do you think is going to start?
If JetsCentral says Josh McCown, then I'm gonna back him up.
You know what? I'm actually going. I'm gonna go Sam Darnold, but I might say Josh McCown might start week 1, right? Kind of like what this. I think this situation is gonna remind me a lot of the Texans last year, right? How they started
it gets so bad
in the first half, and then they bench that guy. And
that's gonna happen week 1.
I think so. I think Sam Darnold is gonna come in and do great.
Yeah, for sure. I could definitely see that happening. I just know it's just weird being a Jets fan. Like all the fans, the players, the coaching staff, like everybody just loves Josh McCown. Like this guy's like a father figure, like in the locker room.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like Jamal Adams, the strong safety for the Jets, like he's the same age as like Josh McCown's daughter. So like they're always joking around with that stuff. So I mean, like I know everybody loves Josh, and he actually had numbers wise, had a pretty solid season last year, so I think it will probably be McCown, but I don't know. Who knows?
What do you see out of Ryan Tannehill this coming up season?
I definitely, to answer your question from before, I think Tannehill's probably right now the second best quarterback in the division, just because like he's thrown for like a lot of yards and he's done it before. He can run and stuff, but
I mean, how's he going to be without the Jarvis Landry there? I mean, because Jarvis was huge for him.
Yeah, he was.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to say that Ryan Tannehill is going to suck or anything like that because I don't think he's like a horrible quarterback. I really don't. I don't think he's like a bottom 5 guy. Yeah. But I do think his production will dip just because you're losing like Jarvis Landry, who's a great wide receiver. You got a little worse on the offensive line, and they also lost Jay Ajayi, the running back. So that's like a lot of pieces for Tannehill. Just like that's just not going to be there for him. So
let's talk about the wide receivers of the AFC East, man. I think it's New England Patriots have the best wide receiving core.
Yeah.
In the division.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
It's definitely weak. It's weak. It's definitely weak for like all 4 teams. Like I don't know, because like the Bills, like they have Kelvin Benjamin, who I like, but then like. I don't know Zay Jones, but I don't know if like what his deal is. And then like Miami, you just lost Landry. You got Devontae Parker, who's good, but he's not great. The Jets have a whole bunch of like young guys who can be great, but then like can kind of like flatten out. Yeah. So like that's kind of just a huge question mark. And then of course the Patriots, they lost. They got Edelman coming back. They lost Amendola. I guess you have to give a nod to New England just because they have the best quarterback in the division, and Belichick continuously sets these guys up for success. So
they were the number 1 offense last year. The Patriots were. There's a reason for that.
But yeah, man, Robbie Anderson, Terrell Pryor,
Jermaine Kearse, both those guys did great last year.
Quincy Enunwa, man.
Yes.
Quincy Enunwa.
Did he get hurt last year, I think, at the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
So
he actually he had like this neck problem, and it kept him out all last season. So I don't know. I like Enunwa a lot because he could play wide receiver and tight end, which is pretty cool. He's like a bigger dude, and he's tough, which I always like. So he's definitely going to be coming back.
Yeah, so the Jets do have the weapons, but it's just a matter of
the Buffalo Bills, Zay Jones, if he keeps his head on straight, Zay Jones
doesn't go crazy in a hotel.
You got Kelvin Benjamin over there. Kelvin Benjamin.
Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. So it's all about just. I think these teams do have some talent. It's just about a lot of these teams just needed a quarterback, right? And that's why 2 of the teams did draft a quarterback with Sam Darnold and Josh Allen. So let's just see if they can actually produce.
I just think the AFC East is so interesting. I mean, yes, we all agree that New England's probably going to end up on top.
Winner, unfortunately.
But after that, it's just so interesting. Jets, Bills, Dolphins. I mean, I could see the Jets being number 2. I could see the Bills being second in the division.
We could see the Dolphins if Tannehill actually plays up to par, right, and stays up.
Mm-hmm.
So There's a lot of options.
It's definitely weird, like looking at who's going to be the second place. I don't want to say second place winner, but who's going to fall in that the second slot for the AFC East? Because I really feel like it could be all three: Jets, Bills, or Dolphins.
Yeah. I would like to see the AFC East, get better.
Competition,
like overall.
Yeah, quit making it so easy for the Patriots.
Somebody, please, give some competition to those damn Patriots.
The evil empire, get them out of there.
Yeah. Now the defenses of the AFC East, man. What are your thoughts on the defenses, man?
I think all the defenses are pretty good. I mean, you look at I'll start with the Jets. I think this is, again, not trying to sound like a homer here, but I think it's the best defense in the division. Really good last year, and you're adding some great pieces, but we don't have a pass rusher, which I think is going to hurt us down the line. But actually, it's kind of set up pretty good for next year because, like, supposedly a whole bunch of guys are going to hit the market, including Lawrence from your Cowboys, Sean.
Oh, no, we're going to lock him up, hopefully.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, Lawrence, Ansah, I think Clowney, Khalil Mack maybe. If he doesn't come to a long-term thing. But, yeah, I like the Jets D. I like the Bills D. They were pretty good last year with Trey White and Micah Hyde and those guys.
Dolphins defense was pretty good last year.
They were 16th, actually, surprisingly.
Overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they lost Sue, but I feel like I still feel like they could be a pretty solid defense. And then the Patriots, I don't know. The Patriots one I think is probably going to be the worst out of the four. And I know it sounds weird saying that because it's the Patriots and stuff, but I think names on paper, I think the Pats are probably going to be the worst defense in the East.
Surprisingly, the Pats weren't really that. They were, I think, one of the worst, but they were one of the best scoring defenses.
Right.
They only gave up
18
points a game.
They were 30th against the pass, 20th against the rush.
Yeah, they weren't that great overall, right, yardage-wise.
And they lost Matt Patricia.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big factor. And Malcolm Butler, we can't discount that. They lost some weapons over there. So.
Yep.
Now, do you have any bold prediction for us? Like anything that's like going to be surprising that's going to come out of the AFC East?
I kind of want to say that the Jets can make a playoff push, but at the same time, I don't want to A, jinx myself, and then B, sound like just one of those fans that are just like, I have my head in the clouds. So I think the Bills and the Jets, I'll say this, I think the Bills and the Jets could be fighting for the second wildcard spot. I think it could probably come down to Week 17, which is actually unfortunate for the Jets because we're actually going to be playing the Patriots. So hopefully it doesn't work out like that. Hopefully we clinch a spot before then. But I could see the Bills and the Jets battling for that second wildcard spot all the way pretty much throughout the whole entire season. So I know it's not that bold, but whatever.
Yeah. And I would love it. I would love to see the Jets get into that spot where they're fighting for a wild card spot and then win it. Because, oh my God, we're going to see so much great content coming from JetsCentral. It'd be great. It'd be great to see.
You got to see him happy, man.
We had to have you come back on if that ever happens, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you take a look at the Titans. They're a team that nobody thought could beat Kansas City in Arrowhead down 21-3 at halftime. Just
and then went down.
All of a sudden. Yeah, and then they end up winning the game. So
Mariota catches his own pass for a touchdown,
But at this point, it's kind of easy to do that against Andy Reid.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. As long as you play Andy Reid, you're advancing in the playoffs.
You have a shot.
Yeah, true.
So you're saying there's a chance.
But so kind of wrap this things up. The AFC East is just so interesting to me because past New England, it's just like I see the Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins, and I'm like, who is going to step up? Because like you mentioned earlier, that window might be closing for the New England Patriots. Tom Brady, he's looking towards retirement. I mean, he's not that young anymore. He's getting older. Bill Belichick, who knows how much longer he's going to be coaching. Yeah, who's going to take that big step and fill that big
void?
Yeah, that New England's going to leave
that role,
right? Or is it going to be like a carousel every year after New England leaves? When New England is done, if they're done ever, is it going to be like the NFC South, how it was every year? Like every year the division, a new person's winning.
Yeah, hopefully. I know.
To be honest with you guys, I think that the AFC East could be a lot like the AFC South. Like you take a look at the AFC South and how it was like Peyton Manning just winning the division just every year. Then he leaves. And now all of a sudden Houston is like looking on, they're trending up. Same with obviously Jacksonville, and then Tennessee. They just got a new head coach in the building. I mean, hell, they're a playoff team. Both Jacksonville and Tennessee are playoff teams. And, like, all of a sudden, all 4 teams are, like, competing against, like, each other, like, on a level playing field. So I'm hoping that's kind of what the AFC turns into as opposed to, like, one team and then the rest. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
So what's your rankings, though? Besides Patriots, number 1, obviously, right? Who's second, third, and fourth?
Yeah, putting me on the spot. Yeah, so I got the Pats number 1. I'm gonna go with the Jets number 2. I'm gonna go with the Jets at number 2 at 8-8, and then I'm gonna go Bills at 3, 7-9, and then I'll go Miami 4th, probably 4-12. So that's kind of that's kind of my outlook on it right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna go Patriots. I'm gonna go Bills.
Bills?
Okay.
Bills. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Bills. Okay. I'm gonna go Jets, and then I'm gonna go Dolphins.
You know what? I'm gonna go with JetsCentral on this one, just because.
There you go.
The Bills, it's pretty much a whole brand new team, so it's like I can't go off of what they did last year. I liked what they did last year, right? They made the playoffs. It was exciting, but now it's a totally different team. So it's like I'm gonna go with the Jets. I think they might go 8-8, 9-7, possibly. And then Bills, right? But I think it's gonna be Bills and Jets, like right neck and neck. They could be the same record. It could be one game. I don't know.
It could come down to the quarterback play, man. I mean,
that's true.
You know,
that's true. Which rookie plays better? But
yeah,
the Dolphins are definitely a bottom. I think we all can agree to that.
Watch them.
Yeah.
Watch them win the whole of it. Hey, they always beat the Patriots somehow. I don't know how the Dolphins do it, but they do.
Yeah, it's always weird. It's like anytime like New England plays in Miami, I feel like Miami didn't like Jay Cutler like just shred them this year. I think he threw for like 300 yards and like a few touchdown passes like on primetime football. So it's just weird.
You were straight for that one, right?
Yes, we were, and I'm like, what's going on right now? Yeah.
But, well, that's our thoughts on the AFC East.
Yes.
Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Let us know in the comment section down below.
Yes.
And once again, go subscribe to our boy JetsCentral if you haven't
Do it now.
already. Go follow him on Twitter.
Yes.
And
all that will be in the description box down below, guys.
Be sure to hit that like.
Yes. Share.
Go follow us on Facebook and everything.
All
Discord,
the social media,
all that stuff,
all the world,
all that stuff.
Yeah.
And let us know. Let us know who you guys got winning the AFC East. Rank them down in the comment section. Let us know, and we'll see what happens. See how it goes down. All right, JetsCentral, thanks again for joining us, man. It was
always
a pleasure.
Always
having you on.
Hey man, thanks so much for having me on.
Of course.
All right. See you guys later.